Oh, it's great. If there's two things that governments always say, it'll save you time and it'll save you money. That's why we're doing it. And yeah, it's just like rearranging the chairs on the Titanic or something. I live in a country that is almost completely automated now, and it's absolutely impossible to do anything. And if something works, it's an absolute miracle. And if you end up talking to a human being, it's it's like you found God. So wait, that's all going to come here. It's all going to come here. When you get paid whether or not you produce results, you end up not producing results in every single situation. There's basically no example of when the quality of your results don't matter that the quality goes up. There's basically no example of that. So, uh, so if you get paid whether or not you are successful or whether or not you turn up for work so many times, you just don't have any motivation. Yeah, there are so many automated systems in the modern world, and you can't blame people for wanting to automize things. In theory, it's a nice way to streamline business. In theory, it's a nice way to do it. But in reality, systems and machines can't really solve human problems. Um, yeah, it just doesn't work. We need connection and understanding. Yeah, the system doesn't work in any way that anyone actually thinks the system works. Sometimes I think if we ever find the source of the universe, it's going to be the universe will be held together with little pieces of sticky tape and bits of string. Yeah, because that's kind of the way the world is. Yeah, it's very delicate and fragile and easily broken and destroyed, and the systems that we put in place um, very often lead to more problems. I just want a person to talk to about the problem. Please just give me a human being. I have hired a car. Now, I want to check some of the details and information about this. Absolutely not possible to find anybody human to talk to about this. The whole system is automatic. Everything is paid, everything is organized, everything is done, and I want to check some details. I want to make sure, because I'm not normal, of course, I want to make sure when I get to the other end that everything is okay. So I want to speak to someone who's there before I go there so that I can check everything that I've got here and I can bring them anything extra that they'll need, right? I think you understand this because you're an intelligent person. You realize that we can save a lot of people a lot of trouble if we just communicate a little bit more. Can I find a human being at the other end of the system? No, because there are no humans. There are no humans in the system. There's no one I can talk to. There are no names. It's just a system. And I've written two emails, and I got one response saying, we have passed on your information. Well, that's great. Who did you pass it on to? Did you pass it on to a local bus driver or what? What? Did you give it to your grandmother? I don't know what you did with it, but please, what is going on? It's 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 crazy. No, I'm a little bit further down the road because I'm growing up and learning how to do things like adults do things. I discovered I was reading the car hire because I've never hired a car before, so I had to read all the details, and I was like I was reading the web pages like things to be careful of when you hire a car and things that because I was not going to get some background information. I don't want to be a complete idiot, right? which is what I would be. And there was this small details. When you pick up your car, you have to give a DVLA registration code from the internet to it's a special code from the internet to the car hire company to allow them to access your driving records. You what? A what? From what? Where? What? I've never heard of this before in my life. And so it's more information, click here, click here, click here, click here, click here. Eventually you end up on a government website. And the government website says, we can give you your access code for 21 days. Please enter the following details. Oh my God. Your driving license number. Okay, it's on here somewhere. There we go. All right, good. Your postcode. Right. I wonder if they mean, like, it's obviously not my present postcode because it's that. Okay. So, like, I've got this piece of paper like from 17 years ago with my address 17 years ago. I'm like, okay, I'll try this postcode. Okay. And your national insurance number. My what? Like, I left Britain 18 years ago. I haven't used a national insurance number for 18 years. I have no idea what that is. I had a card 18 years ago. I mean, do you have everything in your bag that you had 18 years ago? I mean, yes, I have a box full of important documents, but after moving so many times, yeah. Oh, I've got an ID card, but Slovak ID card and British passport, but there's no national insurance number. You know what? So it was like almost crazy, and I need this to get the car. And if I hadn't gone through all these pages on the website and checked everything and read it, I would arrive having paid for my car, having bought insurance for the car, having a driving license, and having official ID, and they would say, no, we can't give you the car because you haven't provided us with this registration code. And this is all supposed to make everything easier. What happened to the time when you could just arrive somewhere, put down some money, and some driving license. Here you go. Here's the keys. Thank you very much. What happened to that? And I'm doing all of this with no human communication. Just reading web pages and web pages and web pages and web pages. It's like, we streamline everything and make everything easier. That's why I've spent 4 hours on the internet reading stupid stuff, right?
So
the result is that I collected together as much data as I could, and I've got a folder of information already, which documents I've scanned and things that I've screenshotted from the internet. I've got a folder of information that I'm trying to make sure that I've got everything that I need there. Yeah, exactly. And I send them an email saying, please, I'm going to be arriving on this day. I want to know that I'm not going to have any problems and you're not going to have any problems, and I can give you all the documents you need, and I want to scan these and send them to you in advance so that we can check it. Please. And I can't get any. The only response I get, we passed on your information. I can just see this with my realist / skeptic mindset. I can see me arriving at the car hire place and them going, no, sorry, we can't give you a car. And I don't want to make their life difficult. I don't want to make, and I don't want to get angry with anybody. There's other little things as well. Like I was reading, and at the bottom there was something like daily mileage limit. What do you mean daily mileage limit? There's a limit to how far you can drive every day. I guess, okay, you don't want people driving halfway around the world in the car, I suppose. So I guess that's. But the daily driving limit is 200 miles. That I don't know, is it 250 kilometers or something, bit more than that. And I was like, I've got to get from here to here. 200 miles is here. How am I supposed to get anywhere? This is crazy. This is crazy. I'm trying to arrange to get trying to get from here to the north of Scotland is almost impossible. And then I was thinking, and then my mind is like, well, if I do 400 miles in one day and then do 0 miles the next day, is that going to average out? Can I do that? I was thinking, can I do that? Will that average out if I do that 400 miles in one day and then 0 miles the next day? Or will they have something on the car like which measures digitally exactly how many miles the car does each day? Oh, the logistics of doing this is it's such a new experience for me, and it's good to have new experiences. It's good to go through the problems and figure out solutions or get what you need to get done. It's really good to have those experiences. Why can't you just why don't just hire a car? Why does it have to be this rule and this rule? And if I hadn't gone and double checked anything, I wouldn't even know that I need to go and get special codes from British driving organisations just to be able to pick up the car. It's all the can I. It's now down to the can I do it? Is it actually possible for me to hire a car in another country? Which shouldn't be that difficult. It should be relatively simple. Because I'm sure there are people just as intelligent as me, even less intelligent maybe, who do this all the time. So it's got to be less complicated than all of these things.